Hello, we're going to look at the AQA Functional Skills Level 1 Mathematics. This is paper 1, which means that it's the non-calculator one. You have 30 minutes to do it in, and it's for June 2021. First question has a spinner. It has 5 equal sections, and the spinner is spun once, and they say what is the probability that it will land on a bee. So in this case we have 2 bees. So we're looking for a 2 on top, and there are 5. 2 bees and 5 equal sections. We move down and it says you're given 7 times 36 is equal to 252. Use this information to work out 252 divided by 7. That's working backwards. If you multiply and get this answer, if you then divide, you'll go back to where you started. So if you have 252 divided by 7, the answer will be 36. Let's continue. Question 3. Let's circle the name of the angle that is 62 degrees. Now remember, anything up to 90 degrees but not 90 is called an acute. Right angles would be if it's exactly 90 degrees. Obtuse is if it's bigger than 90 but less than 180, and reflex is if it's bigger than 180. So in this case the answer is acute. By rounding both numbers, estimate the answer to 703 times 4.99. You need to show your workings. It's 2 marks. So I'm going to estimate the first one to 700 because I've rounded to the nearest 100. Multiply it by 4.99 is close to 5. So if I do that calculation, 7 times 5 is 35, and 2 zeros, the answer comes out to 3,500. 2 marks, one for your workings to show that you've rounded it, and the second one is to actually get your answer. Question number 5 says, which of these is larger? You must show your workings. So this is where, if you remember some of the things like a quarter, what is a quarter worth? A quarter is worth 0.25, so I can write that as 1.25. Okay. And 4/3, now this is where you need to remember that a third is 0.3333 recurring. So if you have 4 of them, you will have 1 full thing and a third, which means that it's got that remembering. And it just goes on and on and on and on. It says which is larger? Well, if you're comparing, the ones are the same, decimal point, 2 or 3, you can see that a 3 is larger than a 2. So in this case, the one that's larger is 4/3. This is a case of learning what is a quarter, what is a third, what does 2/3 look like, etc. Just helps you very much if you know them. Well done. So we're now on to question number 6. And question number 6 is section B. And here we have a wildlife hospital. She works at this hospital. Each morning at 8 AM, Grace puts out seed. You can see some seed in a feeder, and the birds come and eat. She says, I put out an extra 425 grams of seed when the temperature at 8 AM is below minus 1.0 degrees Celsius. In other words, it's cold. Birds need more food to keep warm. Here are the temperatures at 8 AM each day for 1 week. How many extra grams of seed did Grace put out that week? So we need to find all the ones where it's below that temperature. That's what we're comparing it to. So this is higher, so no good. This one's below. This one's below. This one's below. That one isn't, because if you imagine on the number line, you have 0 and 0.2 is on the other side, and neither of those, so those don't count. So we have basically, that doesn't count, that doesn't count, that doesn't count. So we just have 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 lots of 425. Now it depends how you like to do it. You could do a repeated addition, and by that I mean that you add 425, 425, and 425, because we don't have a calculator. This is a non-calculator section, and you can do it that way where you go 5, 10, 15. carry 1, 2, 4, 6 and 1 is 7, 4, 8, 12, and there you get your answer. Or you could do multiplication. 3 times 5 is 15, carry 1, 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7, 3 times 4 is 12. Obviously you should get the same answer, and the answer is 1,275 grams. They've written grams, so I'm not going to bother writing it. They've already done it for us. Question 6b says here, Grace is looking after some hedgehogs at the wildlife hospital. She weighs the hedgehogs, and these are the different range of weights and the number of hedgehogs. So 5 hedgehogs are between this weight, and let's say, for example, 23 hedgehogs are between that weight. All the hedgehogs that weigh more than 500 grams to the nearest gram will go outside. Grace needs to order bedding for the other hedgehogs, the ones that are less, 500 grams or less, which will stay inside. She said we need 3/4 of a bag of bedding for each hedgehog that stays inside. Bedding costs £2 per bag. In total, how much will the bedding cost for the hedgehogs that stay inside? So we need to find all the ones that stay inside. Now, the ones that go outside are the ones that are more than 500. And you see here, that's one more than 500. So those go outside, so they don't need bedding. And what we need to do is we need to find out all of these will be staying inside. So we need to add those together. 21 plus 6 is 27. 27 plus 5 is 32. So we're going to basically tell them, made a little mistake because we want the ones that are staying inside. So let me write inside. Yeah. Inside, and the number that are stay inside are 5 plus 6 plus 21. So as we said, 21 and 6 is 27. 27 plus 5 is going to be 32. So that's how many hedgehogs will need bedding. And they tell us that we need 3/4 of a bag for each hedgehog. So we're basically going to work out 3/4 of that amount. So we're going to do 3/4 of 32. Okay. Now it's up to you. You can do your multiplication and then do the division, or you could do your division first. It's up to you. I like to keep my life easy, and by doing that, I don't like doing big divisions. So I'm just going to say how many 4s fit into here? 1. How many 4s fit into there? 8, because 4 lots of 8 is 32. And now I have 3 times 8 is 24. So that is how many bags of bedding we will need. But if you'd done it the other way around and you said 3 times 32, you would end up with 96, and then you'd have to divide 96 into 4, or how many 4s fit into 96, and you would have got 24. Okay. Now they tell us that each bag costs £2, so you have 24 bags, each costs £2. So if I double 24, I end up with 48, and that's how much it will cost. £48 for the bedding for these hedgehogs. Excellent, 5 marks. We're on to the last question, 6c, and it says Grace makes a journey to return 2 of the hedgehogs to a village that were found. The diagram shows the journey. So she goes from the hospital to Camden, and there's a distance. Then she goes to Burton, then she goes back to the wildlife hospital. She claims fuel expenses using this formula. What is the distance she travelled times 20 and then add 5? So we're going to have to work out the distance of her journey. So we're going to have 18.5 plus 17.2 plus 29.3. I'm going to add them together. Notice I've aligned the decimal places. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Carry 1. Let's put a dot in. So 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. 16 plus 9 is going to be 25. Carry 2. 2, 4, 6. So the distance is 65 kilometers. Using this calculation, remember you always do the multiplication first. So we're going to do 65 times 20. Now there's several ways of doing this. One way is to just do it the long way, which is just 0 times 5 is 0, 0 times 6 is 0, 2 times 5 is 10, carry 1. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1, 13. And add them together. Okay? Or you could have just doubled 65, and if you double 65, you end up with 130, and then you add a 0 because it's not 2 but 20. Okay? Now be careful, this was in pence, and notice the final answer they want us to give ours in is pounds. So I'm going to change from pence to pounds. If you divide by 10, divide by 100, you end up with 13 pounds. So that is for the times 20, but we've changed it to pounds, and then we add another 5. So 13 plus another 5 would give us 18, because 5 plus 3 is 8, and a 1. So this is going to cost 18 pounds. You can leave it like that, or you can stress that there's no pennies by putting 00. I hope that's useful. See you next time. Bye.